Hello everyone, this is Darth Castle, and today is a very serious discussion for both of us, but for me in particular because this is the versus matchup that we're just trying to settle the argument because when Iron Studios Vader came out, everyone, except for me, because I already knew, but everyone was saying Mythos Vader's dead. Strangely enough, no one mentioned the PF, and I wonder why they didn't do that. But we putting them side by side here, a la Red Titan, to compare and contrast and just clarify who's still on top, basically. So again, this is my favorite Castle, hence character. Hence Darth Castle, you know what I mean? So I take it kind of serious, but I will let my cohort take it.
I honestly, I don't know why we're doing the video. I really don't. It's to satisfy some people, let you see them side by side. Yeah. My opinion, it never changed. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I wish I had bought the Iron Studios Vader because I would trade it in a heartbeat for Mythos, and I've seen so many people trying to trade their Mythos for that Vader, for the Iron Studios Vader. I wish back when he was telling me Iron Studios was doing it that I would have went and got it and did the little payment plan and bought one, because had I known that people would have been lining up to give me a Mythos Vader for that, I'd be so happy. I would. It's just for me. It's not a contest. This is the more interesting piece to me. Now, if this didn't exist, I would want one of those. I would want the Iron Studios Vader. It is the next best thing to the Mythos. It's, to me, it's it's an action pose, which that's why I like it. I'm not a huge Vader fan. That's his guy. I honestly wasn't all that impressed with Vader until Rogue One. That was the first time I saw Vader, and he really scared me, or made me like, damn, all right. That was the first time he ever really showed serious aggression in the movies. Now you do the comics and the shows, and I just mainly do the movies, so I never saw that kind of aggression from him in the movie. So it was like, dude, I'm sorry. So when this one came out, because before the Iron Studios one, all the other Vader stuff, it looked the same. He got his helmet, he's in a pose, maybe he's doing his little thing, or a fist out or something. But he ain't doing nothing. He's standing there posing for a photo. And it didn't do much for me. And then I saw this one, and this was the most interesting look I'd ever seen for Darth Vader. He had the helmet off. You see the scars on him. He's standing near some lava or fire, or whatever. He melted.
Yeah, that's meant to be Mustafar.
Okay, so yeah, he's standing near some hot flames, and he's thinking about stuff, thinking about life, and it tells a story. And it was creative. It was. I think it was pretty brave, and I don't know if Disney will let them do stuff like that anymore. Step outside the box and use their artistic freedom to try to tell us a different story. So I don't know if you'll get stuff like this anymore, and I think it's a shame. But
I got this piece first because I had to have it, because I'm a big time Vader fan, and when this was basically my horseman also, when I saw it, I said I had to have it. So when I got it in hand, It did not disappoint, you know what I mean? But I also, that being said, I wanted one of how he looks normally, you know. So I was never a fan of the premium format of Sideshow. I didn't like the pose. It just, to me, it looked unnatural to the character. You know, a lot of people say, well, no, you crazy, you know, but I just never, and then when we saw it in person, you know, like the helmet looked kind of cheap and the plastic and everything. And then they showed this, the Iron Studios one from, it was a con somewhere. And at that time, I didn't know that they were pre-ordering on Sideshow's site, you know. And then one day it popped up. I was in bed because I go to sleep early, you know, I get up early in the morning, go to work. And people in the Red Titan group was like, oh, Iron Studios Vader's out. I said, walk on the computer right now. And so, you know, I did, this is my favorite movie accurate piece, you know, and it's meant to be on Echo Base and Hoth from Empire Strikes Back. And you figure this is the scene right before they enter the hall with the Millennium Falcon, and you know, they trying to stop Han Solo and them. So you imagine he had a crew with him, but you imagine he cut down some people on the way. You know, I mean, the light sequence, we don't have it lit up now, you know, because it's hard to get the arms and stuff off, which is another points against it. You know, it lights up, the chest lights up. You got to take the arms and everything off to light up the chest and the belt. The saber lights up with a, you know, and the light on the side, you can't see it now because his cape is covering it. You know, it lights up. It's battery power. It doesn't have a plug, which I wish it had. That would, that to me, that would close the gap a little bit because, you know, you'd have to take him off and everything just to get the batteries in here. But as far as piece for piece, it to me is no question. Like if say I don't plan on part. I definitely won't be parting with that one. Parting with either one of these pieces, par for, you know, bills or health or something. But if that was the case, I would part with this way before I would part with that. Now I think edition size, this one has the advantage because it's 1,000 pieces, and I saw that's like 5,000 of those. I remember Rodney told me somebody wanted to trade this for an XM Boba Fett. Now, had I not had one on the way, I'd have did that in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? This is a very beautiful piece. I mean, Iron Studios did a great job. It's, you know, for the most part, this movie, you know, there's some deficiencies on the mask. You know, that to the Vader novices, they wouldn't notice it, but I did. You know, some paint issues on the mask and on the body and the controls and stuff. They got pretty much right. You know what I mean? But it's just for pound for pound, yeah, because this is 1/4 scale, this is 1/5 scale. But the sculpt on the cape and even in the outfit, you know, it looks like he's just been in a battle or something, and he's got like slices in him and parts of his cape are torn, and you know, the only thing I would improve would be the base. The flames, I never really. I don't know, I've always thought the flames could have been better. I mean, I say that's one advantage this has over that. To me, I like the base on this better than I like the base on that. You know what I mean? Because this one has like hoses and you know, plumbing and pipes and stuff like that, as if it is really an Echo base on Hoth from Empire Strikes Back. You know, it's snow, and but it's got media also. So it's different things to both of these pieces, you know, that make them special. You know, this one lights up, this one doesn't. But overall sculpt, you know, that one ain't even close. You know, it's definitely the Mythos one in my opinion. You know, go ahead.
No, I think I would like this a little more if this was sculpted.
I would too.
Yeah. Sculpted, and you know, some people take it and iron it and everything like that. Yeah. But I just, you know, sculpted in the flow that you wanted, and that would impress me a little bit more. I do like the fact that it lights up. It is a pain in the ass to use it, though, so it kind of defeats the purpose because it makes you not want to do it because it's so much of a pain to do it. But like I said, it is definitely a nice piece. It's a really good second piece. I'm just not in the camp of saying, oh, you know, it blows Mythos away. People talk about the whole, well, Mythos was a quarter scale, you know, it'd be better, and I'm like, that doesn't, because you don't really lose detail in it by being fifth scale, so it doesn't bother me at all that it's fifth scale. Yeah, side by side, you could tell that one's a little bigger, but it doesn't bother me that it's fifth scale, because you're not losing any of the detail in it. I don't know, maybe the flames on the Mythos, I don't know, maybe clear. I don't know if they were doing clear resin type of stuff.
They were, but I mean, to put it into perspective, our boy Jason J. Bond, the Odd Couple statue collector, he just got this in hand yesterday. I mean, you know, it's not, when you see this video, it's not gonna be yesterday, but trust me, he got it. And they did an unboxing, and he said that was probably their worst unboxing because him and his son were in so much awe of this piece that they really couldn't get any words out. You know what I mean? So it's literally a lot. Actually, a lot of people. That's what one thing that got on my nerves about this was a lot of people that was ready to crown this as top Vader haven't even seen this in person. You know what I mean? Have you seen it? No, I just seen pictures. Okay, well, you need to see it in person. You know what I mean? Because it's different ballgame. Any respectable collector knows that pictures and in person is night and day. You know what I mean? And that's definitely the case with this. You know what I mean? And it's you know, I love both pieces. They know, like, I love them both, but they're different avenues. You know, this is movie accuracy. If you want them action pose, like, you know, this is about as close to the hallway scene you're gonna get from Rogue One right now. You know, unless they choose to do that in the future. You know, but this is something you never really see him like that. You know what I mean? You always see him suited up, and, you know, either with the saber out or his pose with the hands on the belt and everything. But you know, in this moment, he's contemplating. It's called dark contemplation. You know, the decisions and mistakes and the road he's taken to become what he is. You know what I mean? And it's a lot. You can even with better pieces that I've acquired. You know, this was my favorite piece for a very, very long time. And I think I still look at this one the most, you know what I mean? And, you know, one, obviously, because it's my favorite character, but it's just, like Rodney said, the story that it tells is just, it's one of the best storytelling statues you're ever going to get, you know what I mean? So, you know, I love this one, but for me, that one is it's still top dog, and I really don't see it being thrown as, you know, Vader piece-wise for a long time. Now, save for them making a meditation chamber, which is one I want to see made. Then, you know, depending on who makes it or whatever, we'll see. You know, because I like, again, I wasn't a fan of the PF from Sideshow, the last one that came out, but
yeah, I do like the base on the Iron Studios one.
Yeah.
You know, the snow is a nice touch and it's different. It's it helps change it up a little bit. And, you know, the way they did the snow on the cape and everything, I like that. But yeah, it's I keep saying it, it's a good second one.
Yeah.
You know, if you were getting two, I would get these two, but I would do this one first.
No question.
But yeah, that was my opinion before we started the taping. So
yeah, it's incredible how this is. I had mine on the way already. You know, day one, as I said, I pre-ordered this, and then when Rodney was telling me about all this craziness they were going through about this, some just said go on eBay and look at it. Now this piece was $650 retail. People on there selling for like $1,200, and you know, and it hadn't even been a year since this has been out. You know, not even close. And I'm guessing people are buying it. You know, because I done had people hit me, where can I get one? You want to sell yours? No, I don't want to sell mine. You know what I mean? So, you know, if somebody offered me something really crazy, then I'd think about getting rid of it. But, you know, I don't have any plans on getting rid of it, you know, because it's, you know, one again, it's my boy, you know. So,
I'm kicking myself because I wish I because I would have been like, all right, and I would have got this.
And that's the funny part, because when they first showed it, people were like, "Oh, it looks like he's playing golf or baseball with the saber," and I'm like, "Really?" You know what I mean? And get the PF, I was like, "They're insane." You know, the PF to me, that he's got this old lady shit he doing. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, I know now that when our boy Ian explained it, it was from Return of the Jedi, but in Return of the Jedi, he's walking up the steps, and that one looked like he's walking down the steps, you know. So, you know, I don't know what they were going for, but, you know, I know the base lights up and everything, but, you know, to me, this smokes that one, you know, and this one smokes. I mean, he would say smoke. I don't think this smokes this one. It's definitely better, the one I prefer, you know, but, you know, I'm a fan, so I'm biased, but, you know, I like this for the fact that it looks like as close to off of the screen as you're going to get, in my opinion, you know what I mean, so,
yeah, would I say? Yeah, I probably would say smoke, but but you know, but that's as somebody who's not a Darth Vader fan. If I see them both, if I never saw a Star Wars movie and didn't know anything about Star Wars, but I saw these two, I would think this one is way more interesting, and that's just me. That's my taste. I think. Other than the robe, though, I would change the robe. I would definitely change. And one of the switch outs, I know you don't have a problem with. I can't stand the one-handed lightsaber where it's so weird looking. I wish they had given you a second switch out to hold the lightsaber at a different angle, because it's fine when he's holding it with two hands. Right now you got him with two hands. But if you take this left arm off, he's just holding the lightsaber like this, and it looks so retarded to me. It does not look natural at all. So I wish they gave you a way to display the lightsaber one-handed that looked normal. But those two, other than those two complaints, I like the statue. There's a lot I like about the statue. I love the base. You know, I love the detail with the snow on the shoes and the broken parts, and in the back you have, you know, the pipes split in half. And like I said, it looks like he's just got finished messing up some stuff. And, you know, it's a bit of an action story. So I do like it. It's not that I think it's trash or anything. It's far from that. It's just, okay, you got the lightsaber on.
No, I just want to see the light. That's all.
Okay. And and it even has a little light on the base that comes on. So I mean, it's got some nice touches. It's definitely not a bad statue. I don't think it's trash. I just think this is way more interesting.
And one thing that's a trip about this, when you take it out of the box, I mean, it may or may not look like the cape on this thing is gigantic. I mean, the cape is literally this wide.
It's like a baby blanket.
Yeah. So, you know, I think they could have downsized that a little bit, you know, because it's huge. Like, even now, it has wires in it so you can bend it. So I had to kind of like bend it in the back a little bit, so it's not like all over the place. You know, the cape is good quality. And like you said, the robe, the underneath robe, you can see through it. That's kind of cheaply, you know, done. But other than that, they did a good job, you know, as far as quality wise. You know, I don't see any issues. I just wish, my number one thing, I wish this had a plug-in instead of just battery powered. You know, like the Maul PF from Sideshow with the sabers. You know, but this battery, then the challenge. I've been thinking about how I was gonna do, because it's difficult to get this thing. It was hard getting them in the base. If you see our unboxing, it took us a while to wedge him into this base so that the saber actually worked, you know what I mean? So to get the actual batteries back in this thing, I might just say hell with it. It just don't light up, you know what I mean? But you know, but pound for pound, it's a great piece. But Mythos, you know,
ding ding, and the winner
is, you know, that's just our opinion. I know a lot of you guys out there gonna be
cussing us out.
Come on, I will give you every reason why, you know.
Man, it's a taste thing. At the end of the day, it's a taste thing.
I can't remember the guy's name. Remember, he was like, wait 1 month, and I was like, look, man,
See if it changes.
I can tell you right now, it ain't gonna change. Yes, okay, we'll wait.
No.
We ain't never heard from him again.
Now, like I said, they announced some interesting new switch outs.
Yeah,
that I ain't seen.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
It don't matter.
Like I said, it's not trash. It's not trash. It's just not my favorite. It's not his favorite.
And it's my favorite character.
Yeah, it's his favorite character. It's not my favorite character, but just looking at them both, like before this one was ever out, I saw this before I even started collecting, and this one was one of the pieces that made me want to start collecting. So, and I'm not into Darth Vader like that, but
that should tell you something.
it was that impressive. Yeah. I was at work drooling. Yeah, so that's just the way it is.
That's the story here.
See y'all later.